I advocate a lot of policies on this channel. There are 3 big policies that sit at the very top of my agenda. If I had ultimate power to pass 3 policies, these are the policies I would pass. I would introduce a proper constitution. I would rebalance the tax system by introducing a tax-free threshold funded by a capital gains tax. I would ban big money donations to political causes to get money out of politics. These are 3 long overdue policies. It is madness that they do not play a larger role in political debate. But we can change that. We need to normalise and promote these policies. These policies are deeply desirable. A proper constitution. This policy would defend people's rights and safeguard democracy. At present, the government is subject to few restrictions. The only safeguard is the decency of politicians and the good sense of voters. Those are 2 very unreliable safeguards. Hideous regimes have taken power in other countries, and we are not immune to this. If it can happen there, it can happen here. We must take action to make sure it never does. That means a supreme and entrenched constitution. We need to stop taking freedom and democracy for granted. A quick glance at the broader world should prove that that is a big mistake. We need a tax-free threshold funded by a capital gains tax. This would address the skyrocketing wealth inequality that plagues our society. Wealth inequality creates an extremely powerful upper class. This inevitably undermines both freedom and democracy. A tax-free threshold would ensure that hard work is encouraged and rewarded by making initial income tax-free. This policy would provide a massive tax cut to those who need it the most, funded by those who can easily afford to pay. We must get big money donations out of politics. Elections are not auctions, they are to be decided by the people, not the highest bidder. The rich must not be allowed to pour their wealth on the scales to dictate election results. That makes a mockery of democracy, and it incentivizes political parties to prioritize the interests of the wealthy. This policy would change the incentives. In doing so, paving the path for good governance and great policy broadly. New Zealand could be a great country, but we need serious leadership. Leadership that is willing to embrace bold, transformational policy. Not the extremist musings of one side, but the best proposals from across the spectrum. That is what we need. That is not to say that both sides of the spectrum have equal value to offer, but both sides have some good ideas, and if you cannot see that, you are not playing politics. You are engaged in a childish team sport that offers nothing of value to New Zealand. New Zealand deserves better, everyone can see that. We need a government that is principled and bold. Countless long overdue policies wait to be introduced. We must promote them, we must make sure they become their reality. Making them central to political debate is the first step of that process. We must normalise these ideas, we must make them significant topics. That is how we secure the reform that would transform this country for the better.